As Liverpool secured a vital 2-0 victory at Newcastle United to keep their Champions League dreams alive, eyebrows were raised as Jamie Carragher chose Newcastle winger Alain Saint-Maximin as the game's best player. And yet, a glance at the statistics suggests the award should have gone elsewhere. On the websites of both SofaScore and Who Scored, the best player was Trent Alexander-Arnold. The man in direct opposition with Saint-Maximin was dribbled past only once while delivering a team-high 4 key passes and creating a game-high 2 big chances at the other end, including the assist to Darwin Núñez for that crucial opener that broke the game open. Jurgen Klopp's side achieved back-to-back league wins for the first time in 2023 and back-to-back clean sheets for the first time since October. Keeping both of these streaks alive into the Champions League last 16 encounter with Real Madrid will require a team effort. It will also require another stellar performance from Liverpool's right back, as he'll be up against the opponent's biggest threat once again. This is where Vinicius Jr comes into the picture. Against Osasuna, the Brazilian laid on the opener for Federico Valverde and would have added his own goal if not for an offside flag. A first assist in 7 league games since the World Cup break doesn't truly reflect his influence on matches, and a record of 6 goals and 2 assists from 9 starts in cup competitions is a sign that he comes to life on the big occasions. He'll be keen to put on a show at Anfield, free from the pressures of life in Spain. On home soil, Vinicius has had to deal with all the worst elements of the game, from brutal fouls to racism in the stands, TV studios and at press conferences. When such brutality is deemed an acceptable response to goal celebrations, it takes real courage to keep showing your skills and to keep dancing. The team and his manager, Carlo Ancelotti, have rallied around him. This battle with Liverpool will be a great chance to refocus, reminding him of his crowning achievement so far, the winning goal in the Champions League final in Paris. Alexander-Arnold will have very different memories of that night, but he'll be equally up for the challenge. His duel with Saint-Maximin can act as an elite training course for facing Vinicius, another opponent with excellent dribbling ability and a sharp change of pace and direction. The Frenchman may have carried the ball great distances and looked menacing, but Alexander-Arnold did a good job of forcing him into areas where Liverpool had cover and relied on Alisson when he had to. Offensively, he was back to his incisive best. Newcastle had no answer to his consistent threat, either swinging dangerous balls across the face of goal from the touchlines that caused panic amongst the league's best defence, switching the play to his perennial partner Andy Robertson, or feeding balls into the paths of the strikers from a more central position, such as his assist for Núñez. Klopp will be pleased to see his homegrown youngster looking like himself again, but the German will take the most encouragement from his return of his telepathic triangle with Jordan Henderson and Mohamed Salah. Real is a team that can suffer for long spells in games and then takes them away in big moments. On that night in Paris, Vinicius produced that moment when it mattered, despite Liverpool performing well against them for most of the match. Liverpool needed all 3 points of their triangle to do the job that day, and they will undoubtedly fall to the same men on Tuesday night. Luckily for Klopp, all 3 have shown signs of returning to their former glories after a shaky period. Before starting the derby with Everton on Monday night, Henderson had played just 64 minutes across 4 games in all competitions, his longest spell out of the team uninjured since a difficult debut season under Brendan Rodgers. The rest appears to have done him good with back-to-back displays where the intensity of his pressing returned. The challenge will be to go again just 74 hours later against a high-caliber midfield fortified by Aurelien Tchouameni, the man Liverpool hoped would eventually inherit Henderson's midfield berth. Liverpool will have their work cut out against the European and world champions, littered with the world's best players. Klopp will be desperate to use this momentum to continue the run of wins and the run of clean sheets, but you'll be pleased with either if you can't have both. To achieve that task, Liverpool must hope on their elite triangle and that it can contain Real Madrid's Brazilian diamond.